Good afternoon, boys and girls. That was so weak. Good afternoon. So welcome. We're so excited you're here today. And the reason you're here is because we're hosting APAC Orchestra. So you see all these amazing musicians, string musicians on stage today. And if you don't know what APAC is an organization that the school belongs to, and we're hosting students at this festival from Korea, from Vietnam, from China, and from the Philippines. So we have students from all over Asia that are here to play in this, and the big concert is tomorrow night at 5:30. So you should all come see that too. And also, we have an amazing, amazing, amazing guest conductor, and he's standing right here. So can we give a really big lot of applause for Mr. Sieber, our amazing guest conductor. And Mr. Sieber is with us from the United States. He's the conductor of the Kansas City Symphony. So we're so blessed to have him here. And I'm gonna turn it over to him, but I'm gonna quickly start with a quick little prayer. So can we just all bow our heads quickly, and we're gonna start with a little prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you for today. Thank you for Friday. Thank you for this great rain you've provided us outside. I know we've needed some rain. We haven't had rain in a long time. So thank you for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students being here this morning to see these amazing musicians. Please look over these musicians as they get ready to play today. And we're so grateful and appreciative to have them all here on the stage at SFS. We ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Sieber now, who's going to start talking with you.
Thank you, Mr. Striffler. Hey, how are you guys? It's so great that you're here today. We are so excited to perform for you. As Mr. Striffler said, we have such a talented group of high school students on the stage with us to perform. We're going to do 4 total pieces of music for you. Some of those pieces have more than one movement. How many of you are familiar with a piece that has movements? Have you heard of something like that? Raise your hand if you've heard of yeah, pretty much all of you. So sometimes composers write a big piece, but it's divided into smaller parts called movements. So as we go through the program, I'll tell you a little bit about each piece that we're going to play. The first piece that we're going to play is called Perseus, and it's about someone in Greek mythology. And you guys, you know Perseus? Fantastic. Terrific. Well, this is a piece about Perseus, and it was written by a great composer named Soon-Hee Newbold. And even though Soon-Hee Newbold has lived most of her life in the United States, where I live, she was born right here in Seoul, Korea. This is a really fun piece for us to play. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's called Perseus by Soon-Hee Newbold. Isn't that a fun piece? Did you guys like it? Great piece of music by Soon-Hee Newbold. She'll actually be here to guest conduct here at the Seoul Foreign School in February. So maybe some of you will have the opportunity to see her when she gets to come up here and work with these wonderful students. Now our next piece is by John Rutter, who is a composer from England. He's probably the most famous composer living today from England. And he mostly writes for chorus. Do any of you sing in a chorus by any chance? Raise your hand if you sing in a chorus. Maybe at your church, or maybe here at school, in your classes, yeah? Well, he mostly writes music for singers, but he wrote this really wonderful piece for string orchestra. It's called Suite for Strings, and it's not sweet as in like candy sweet, sugar sweet. It's S-U-I-T-E, and a suite is just a small piece of music that usually has multiple movements. I talked to you earlier about movements, and this piece has 4 movements. We're going to play 3 of the movements from this suite, and I want to tell you the titles. They're all based on English folk songs from a long time ago. The first one is called, make sure I get them right here, A Roving. It's kind of a fun title, yeah? So we have a roving, and then the second movement is called I Have a Bonnet Trimmed with Blue, a nice hat with blue. It's a beautiful movement. The third movement is called Oh Wally Wally, and it's not a guy's name Wally, but it's actually, the title is W-A-L-Y. Okay, we thought maybe it was a guy named Wally. We might still think is it possibly a guy named Wally? We don't know. But it's a beautiful tune, and that third movement is going to feature a violin solo and a viola solo. So you're going to see Gia here, and you're going to see Ellie right here. They have a nice duet at the end of that third movement. Now, when you go to an orchestra concert, and the orchestra plays a piece that has multiple movements, more than one movement, it is tradition to not clap until the very last movement is done. So let's see if you guys could keep track of all 3 movements that we play, and hold your applause until the very end of the third movement. Okay? Think you guys could do that? Absolutely. I think you can too. So this is the first, second, and third movement from John Rutter's Suite for Strings. Thank you very much. And nice job waiting. I tell you what, that first movement ends so big, doesn't it? It makes you want to clap. So I can understand why you guys clapped. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that, really. It's just kind of tradition. We have some traditions that we have and that we don't even think about why we do them sometimes. And actually, a long time ago, about 150 years ago, I'd say, or actually about 200 years ago, when Mozart and Beethoven were writing music. Have you heard of those two guys? Mozart and Beethoven? Yes. When they were writing music, people always clapped in between the movements. As a matter of fact, sometimes they would yell, encore, encore, at the end of a movement, and the orchestra would play the entire movement that they had just played again before they'd move on to the next movement. Sometimes they'd play the same movement 3 or 4 times because the audience would love it so much before they'd move on to the next movement. So, you know, traditions are interesting. Sometimes we break them and change them, and sometimes we like to keep them for a long time. So I think that's one of the great things about all the arts, not just music, but the tradition in all the arts. So our next piece is called Phantom Tangos, and it has nothing to do with Phantom of the Opera, if you know that musical. But do you guys like Phantom of the Opera? Yeah? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this piece has nothing to do with the Phantom of the Opera. But what it does have to do with is a tango. And a tango is a really cool dance. It is a dance that is popular in South America, especially in Argentina. And so a lot of times a tango is written for a string orchestra like the one we have today, sometimes accompanied by the bandoneon, which is an instrument that's similar to an accordion. I don't know if you guys have ever heard an accordion, but it's an instrument similar to that. But we don't have one of those today. We just have this awesome string orchestra to play it for you. This is a piece by Brian Balmages, and I want you to pay attention to a couple things about a tango. I can't dance a tango because I can't dance at all. I'm a terrible dancer. But if I could dance a tango, what you would see is a lot of fast, quick changes and turns and bold movements. And the music that we are going to play really reflects that. So if you could, all right, maybe I'll do you guys want to see me dance? Oh boy, this is going to be horrible, guys. I'm just warning you. All right, so if you were to dance a tango, you'd have your partner, okay? You'd have your arm around their waist and your hand up here, and you would be moving something like this. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Lots of quick, fast, bold turns and movements and turns like this and all sorts of fun things, okay? So you're going to hear some of that in this music, but what I want you to also pay attention to is the bass line, that the basses there in the back are going to be playing, and the cellos have it a lot too. You're going to hear this boom, boom, bing, boom, 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 bing, boom. That's the most popular bass line from any tango. So if you've heard a tango before, you've probably heard that bass line. You knew that? Wow, that's great. Wow. You know the waltz too? Well, we're not doing any waltzes today, but we are going to do a tango. This conversation, I feel like, could happen for like 45 minutes. But we're going to go on, and we're going to play the tango for you now. I really appreciate your enthusiasm and your knowledge. You guys are awesome. Here we go. This is a piece called Phantom Tangos. All right, guys, we have one more piece left for you today in this concert. But before we do that, first of all, I want to say how incredibly proud I am of all these young ladies and gentlemen on the stage. Don't they sound great? Give them another big round of applause. Now, as you heard Mr. Striffler said, these students come from all over Asia, from 4 different countries, and we just started rehearsing together as an orchestra yesterday morning for the first time. Can you believe that? We've only been practicing together for about 1 1/4 days, 1 1/3 days, and it's amazing how great they sound for only having practiced that much. I'm so proud of them, and I hope that you've enjoyed the music today. Have you enjoyed the music? Yeah. Great. Now, I'm curious, raise your hand. How many of you play a musical instrument? Raise your hand if you play at least one. Wow. Look at all those hands. That's awesome. Put your hands down. How many of you play the piano? Awesome. Put your hands down. How many of you play a string instrument, either violin, viola, cello, bass? Wow. Okay, put your hands down. How many of you play a woodwind instrument like flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, saxophone? A lot of you. How many of you play a brass instrument like trumpet, trombone, tuba, French horn? How many of you have raised your hand for every single instrument? Do you really play all those instruments? That's pretty impressive. Wow. Well, I thought it might be nice. You know, most of these young men and women on stage have been playing their instruments for about anywhere from 4 years to about 8 or 9 years, some of them even longer than that. And they've worked really hard. They practice lots of hours, not just in orchestras at their schools and in youth orchestras and everything else. They have to practice a lot at home by themselves, and I'm sure some of you practice your instruments at home by yourself. They do a lot of work, so much commitment. It's not just that they're talented, they work hard to sound as great as they do. I thought it might be nice to hear from a few of our musicians. I'm going to invite them to come on up. They're from schools, all the different schools that we have represented. Come on up, guys. And I thought it might be nice to hear them tell you in their own words why they play their instrument or what they love about music and playing music, okay? So let's hear from each of them. Come on up here, guys, and form a line maybe, and we'll... So tell these young boys and girls what your name is and maybe what school you're at and what city, and something you love about music or why you picked the instrument that you picked. Tell them what instrument you play too. I think that'd be cool, okay? We'll start down here with Luke.
Thanks. My name is Luke. I'm from Shanghai American School in Shanghai, China, and I play bass. I love playing bass because it's an instrument you can use for a lot of different musical styles. So like we're playing classical right now, but I can also use it to play rock or jazz. So that's my favorite part.
Hello, my name is Gil. I go to Hong Kong International School, and I play the viola. And one of the main reasons why I love playing the viola is because my family is like a musical family, and my dad is a teacher and a musician, so he really inspired me. And now I'm passionate about playing music. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Yuna, and I go to Seoul Foreign School. I also play the viola, and the reason why I chose to play is because I used to play both the violin and the cello, and the viola is like a good mix of the two. So it's really fun to be able to have like an element of both instruments in one.
Hi guys, my name is Claire. I play cello, and I'm actually from SFS 2. This is my 10th-ish year of playing cello, and actually my mom chose this instrument for me because apparently it fit my personality. But over the years, as I've been more involved in various orchestras in and out of schools, I've become to really like playing the cello and like music in general. I think a big part of this is because I actually think music brings us together. I know you guys have probably heard this cliche phrase many times before, but I think it has a unique ability to transcend societal bounds.
Hi, my name is Gia, and I'm also from Seoul Foreign School, and I play the violin. So I started playing violin kind of like in the same situation as you guys. So I heard like other people playing violin, and I thought it sounded really nice. So it really inspired me to learn how to play the violin, and now it's like one of the biggest parts of my life. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Ijen. I'm from Shanghai American School, Puxi. I play the violin as well, and I've been playing since I was 6. So I grew up watching my sister play, and I would always hold her music for her while she played, and then that inspired me to play the violin as well. And music is a massive part of my life, and I've met so many amazing friends through music. With our quartets together, we've spent countless hours together practicing, and like many of them said, I think music really has an ability to bring people together.
That's terrific. Let's give them a round of applause. That was really wonderful hearing from you guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. So, so many of these students started music for different reasons, as you just heard. Some of them, their friends were doing it. Some of them, their parents helped them, encouraged them to play an instrument. And you can hear all the benefits from playing music. They get to meet people from all over the world and make music with them and connect with them through music. And I think something else that I always love about music, for me, is it's an escape from everything else that we do. We have homework to do, and we have lots of work and everything else, and we all have different things that we love to do, like sports and everything, but music is one of those things that we all love and can enjoy. Are we out of time, or are we good? Oh, okay, good. You just looked at your watch. So how much time do we have left? Well, we only need 4 more minutes to play this last piece. We could play it faster, too, and do it in 3 minutes and 32 seconds. They're saying no, we probably shouldn't play it faster. Okay. It's fast enough, trust me. All right, so guys, I want to thank you so much for coming today. I hope you've enjoyed the program. We're going to play one last piece for you. This is a piece by Bloch, who's a great, great composer from the early 20th century. It's called Concerto Grosso, and that doesn't mean like a disgusting concerto. It means a large concerto. It features a lot of different solo instruments in one of the other movements that we're going to be playing tomorrow night. So I encourage you to come tomorrow night. Tell your parents about the concert. It's right here at Seoul Foreign School at 5:30 p.m. And you can come hear all these pieces you've heard today, plus another 3 pieces or so that we did not have a chance to play today that we're going to be playing tomorrow night. Before we get to it, I want to thank Mr. Striffler, I want to thank Mr. Walker, and I want to thank all the staff and the administration here at Seoul Foreign School. This has been a really fun week for us to be here. You guys have been excellent hosts. So thank you very much, and we're going to end with the Bloch, Concerto Grosso, first movement. I hear encore. That was a good one, wasn't it? But we're a little tired. We've been playing all morning, so I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I think that we're going to end the concert here, yeah? Thank you guys so much. Mr. Striffler, thank you.
Guys, one more huge round of applause for Mr. Sieber and all the musicians. What an amazing audience you have been. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and we hope to see you tomorrow night at 5:30. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. They were great.
Guys. Guys, when